Now we're going to get into, honestly, the most incriminating part: Blue Archive.
Blue Archive, the game that supposedly wasn't pedophilia. Yeah, right off the bat, it's looking very bad. But there's plausible deniability here. There's not plausible deniability in this case because, as you can see, he actually plays this game. He actually plays it. Not he played it or he didn't know or game is this. Okay, what kind of characters is Blue Archive? Okay, now Ayo Kabisama, he made a waifu. He has the waifu reviews, and this is one of the characters that was in this community post. As you can see here, you see Asuna. She's from Blue Archive. Okay, who's Asuna? He seems to like this one. Okay, that's Asuna. That's her. Okay, hey, she looks grown. Again, Coomer stuff, but he doesn't hide his Coomerness. Still weird, but if it's an adult, it's an adult, right? I mean, take away from the fact that you're playing as a teacher and this is a student, but she looks like she's grown, right? She looks like she is. Is she though? I don't think so.
All right, so Blue Archive by Nexon Games, specifically Nexon Games Korea. They call it on Steam an action anime RPG, so there's not really much of a description, and as you can see from the tags, it seems chill, it seems safe. So I went further, and after looking on Apple, on the App Store, the story is essentially that you are an advisor and you've been appointed with a bunch of, allies in this classroom setting. And the biggest issue, I would say, with this is that you have a lot of mild sexual content, uh, mild medical treatment information, intense, mature, suggestive themes, mild alcohol, tobacco. You know, it has some pretty intense stuff. And the issue that Darko pointed out, right? The issue is that a lot, if not all of these main characters, these girls, are teenagers. And it's not like the Nekopara shit where it's like some fantasy world where, you have cat girls and, their ages are different because animals grow at different speeds than humans. But no, 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 no. We're not doing that. This is because it's a game that caters to the fantasy of being a teacher with a bunch of young girls. That's what it is. And that's crazy. Now, let me tell you, I think Blue Archive is a pedophilic game. There's nothing you can tell me that will convince me otherwise. And let me tell you something else. Many countries in the East have the age of consent to be 13. Japan used to have it, and now it's 16. For China, it is currently 14. And for South Korea, which is where Blue Archive was created, it is 16. But prior to COVID, it used to be 13. So it has to be understood that the developers that are producing this content are doing it within legal means, right? They should not be allowed to touch the states at all with these kind of games, but because it's legal in their country, they do a few tweaks here and there. They take out the content that's controversial. Boom. They can allow it into our country. Now, in this twit longer by the chief PD of the game, they are expressing their regrets to everyone playing that they had to comply and censor the parts of their game for the country that it was in. And this game is crazy. I I don't want you just to take my word from it. I don't. It's tough. It's really tough because it's not something that I want to promote people to watch. I think it's something that you should just trust me that it is not a, a game for kids. It's also not a game for adults. It's just not a game that anybody should be playing. But if you do happen to stumble upon it, if you do end up watching some of the stuff that's on there, I think you'll understand why this is not a good game to play. So that is the coffee part.